Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Deborah Roth here from Spirited Living, ready for another dance with our inner goddess team where we embody the divine feminine in all of her many faces, all of her many forms, her qualities, regardless of your gender. I say that every week. One of these days I'm going to put together a video that will say all this introductory stuff so I don't need to keep saying it here, although I always feel like it's helpful. So we are looking this week at a goddess that I'd heard of, and she's actually, I think you may be surprised at who and what evolved from her. The Egyptian goddess Neith, and it's spelled, not spelled like that at all, it's N-E-I-T-H, which you can see in the description. And we are acknowledging, we're celebrating her because this day, or close to this day, January 19th, which is this week, in ancient Egypt was celebrated the Festival of Lights, or the Festival of Lamps. And there were candles and lights and all kinds of things that were celebrating this really, like she is the mother of all gods, apparently. And we don't hear much about her. We hear about Isis and Sekhmet, and I've talked about Bast, Selkit. I've talked about lots of Egyptian goddesses here, but not really Neith. So when I dug in a little bit deeper, she is the origin. She is the original Athena. Now, we've all heard of Athena, and the story with Neith is that she was born on the shores of Lake Triton in Libya, in Egypt. And hey, Cindy. And she was raised and nurtured by 3 water nymphs. And when there were Libyan refugees around 4,000 BCE, something like that. And when they emigrated, when they were refugees to Crete, they brought Neith with her, and she gradually was assimilated into the Thracian and then the Greek pantheon as Athena. So she is, as Athena was, as we better know Athena to be, a warrior goddess. She was a goddess of wisdom. All of these sound familiar if you have any familiarity with Athena. And what was interesting as I was doing this is I realized I've never done Athena. I've never done an inner goddess team video on Athena. Maybe because I just figure everybody knows so much about her. But I think it'd be fun to dive in deeper to her, with her. So especially now that I know who her original mother is, where she originally came from. So before she got to Greece, here's some of her mythology. She was the mother of Ra, who was one of the sun god, and he took over the kingdom after her, and then it was passed down to many generations. And because of the fact that she was thought to be the creatrix of all of the gods and goddesses and was around for a long time, her wisdom was very valued, and generations later, and I won't go into the whole myth here, but she was brought in to give advice on the argument between Horus and Set over who would take over the kingdom. She was, in effect, their great, maybe 3 greats grandmother, I think. So she's known for her wisdom. She's, as a warrior goddess, one of her images, which I thought was interesting, this is one image of Neith. She has on her head, it's supposed to be arrows and a shield, which frankly I don't think it looks much like arrows and a shield, but that's the picture that I kept. That's one of the headdresses that she wears. The other is a red crown, because she was, and there she is with her red crown, and I'll talk about, and I'm going to hold this up for a minute, well, I'll put it back up. She was she wore the red crown of lower Egypt. Because she evolved from the water, there's all kinds of ocean water connections with her. One of them is that one of her children was also, and I had not heard of him, Sobek. And Sobek was the lord of the crocodiles. So in this picture, this rendition of her that I just showed you, she's known as the nurser of crocodiles, and she's shown as nursing crocodiles with her red crown. She also, can you see it in this one? You can't see it in this one so much. She is one of the few goddesses that I've run into who is truly androgynous. While we talked about her as a goddess, and when you read about her, even, Pluto talks about her as, being the origin of Athena, but she's referred to more as a her, and yet apparently 2/3 of her energy was felt to be divine masculine and 1/3 divine feminine. And a lot of her, and you'll see it in this rendition, I had to print out a whole bunch of these. Here's yet another rendition of her, and if you look very closely, you can see that she has a phallus, and that represents the masculine energy that she carries within her. She also has in this representation, she has her red crown, and she also has, she's sometimes depicted with the head of a snake or the head of a lion, and she's holding them all here. So just that embodies so much of her mythology and of her energy and the qualities that she calls in. She's also, it was felt that she created the world by weaving it. So she's connected with weaver, as being a weaver, with weaving. And it's thought that funny headdress that I showed you is also a shuttle, like in a loom. It looks more like a shuttle, frankly, than it does than arrows and a shield. But she has so many wonderful associations and stories around her. And when you realize that she's the origin of Athena, to me it brought a whole different light to her. So let's see what else I want to tell you about her. She is, even her name, interesting. Her name also can be knit, N-I-T, which sounds like knitting, weaving, maybe. But they think that her name may even have meant water. And she had no known husband. She kind of evolved, when I said she was born on the shores of this Lake Triton, she evolved just spontaneously out of the water and was known as the Virgin Mother Goddess. Yet another kind of origin story to the Christian Virgin Mother. And she's shown in hieroglyphics. So I tried to find, I think the three that I'm glancing over of the 3 images that I found of her were all from hieroglyphics, and they all show her with this phallus representing her perfect combination of divine masculine, divine feminine energy. So I think that's probably all I'm going to let you know about her. So how do we use that energy? And this really is the case with all of the goddesses, all the members of your inner goddess team that we look at here. We want to see what qualities resonate most with where you are right now. Do you need to be more of a warrior in some place in your life? Are you called upon to be a wise diplomat? Finding ways to resolve conflicts with people. Are you drawn to the water? Actually, I'm going to lead you in a chant that's not a Neith chant, but it is one of, and those of you who have circled with me will know that this is one of my favorite ones. So think about what qualities of Neith that I've talked about resonate most with you. And some of them are, seem identical to some of the other ones that we've talked about because they're all divinely feminine qualities, and many of these goddesses carry the same energy. Remember too that even though I'm talking about us honoring her this particular week when her festival was this Festival of Lamps, Festival of Lights, you can call on her as you can call on any of these goddesses that we talk about here anytime during the year. If you want to know about more of them, just subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're not looking at it there, or even if you are, please subscribe or go back to my Facebook page if you're watching this on YouTube. And please let me know. I always love to hear from people. Thank you for those who have sent comments about your giving me more information about some of these, as I try to do with you each week, but also how these wonderful divinely feminine representations have spoken to you, have resonated with you. So let's just take a moment and you can kind of sink into, you can hear me sing it, and then you can join me and then go off and keep singing this one. This is, so the chant that I chose today, I actually did, I think maybe 4 or 5 months ago, sometime in the fall, because it's just a classic goddess water chant. And we know that as Neith derives from water, that the blessings of water are something that we always want to invoke. So it goes like this. I am the ocean, and the ocean is me. I am the goddess, and I am the sea. Everything opens when I open me. Everything opens when I open me. That's a little low even for me. I'll take it up a little bit. I am the ocean, and the ocean is me. I am the goddess, and I am the sea. Everything opens when I open me. Everything opens when I open me. So come back and listen to that anytime during the year, whenever you need to call on this warrior spirit, this creatrix, this mother of the gods, mother of crocodiles, nurturer of crocodiles. Whenever you need to tap into Neith's energy, please let me know how you do that. I would love to hear from you. And we'll see you back here next week for another installation to reconnect with your inner goddess team. Thanks so much for joining me, and bye for now.